All right. Steve reminded me to hit record. We're going to get a full recording. Isn't that crazy? All right. So massive number of people here tonight. Thank you very much. It must be because Jillian's on. Everybody. So everybody want to hear what Jillian has to say. So we are in, technically we are in week 2 of the 90-day challenge and our personal team race to 10 consultants. Okay. So what I would like to do before we get done, and if somebody wants to remember, I'd like to know who has rank advanced since January 11th. So if you have rank advanced since January 11th at all, please hit your unmute and say your name, and that way we can recognize who's rank advanced since January 11th.
I have.
Who was it?
Jillian.
Jillian. Oh, okay. I couldn't see your face because I'm screaming. I'm looking around to see all these crazy people we got. Who else? I know there's. Who was that?
Steve, Manji.
Cool. Congratulations.
Hi, Tracy.
Geraldine. Congratulations, Geraldine. How about Lazone? Have they done anything?
Lozans have done something.
Lazon. Sorry, my mistake.
That's all right.
I think there needs to be an E on the end. I'm going to nickname you. I'm going to nickname you the Zone. You guys were in the zone. You guys were in the zone.
That static was making me crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great time.
You guys had a rockin' time. Who else? Becky. Congratulations, Becky. Awesome job. Very cool.
Can't see everybody. There's a lot of people.
I know.
Todd Wilkinson advanced to Crystal Manager.
Who was it?
Todd Wilkinson.
Todd did. That's right. He was on earlier too, and I know he was on. He was partying or something with his head. Oh, there he is. All right, I see you. All right, very cool. All right.
A consultant and cycled twice or 6 times.
Yay.
That is even more awesome, right?
Right.
That pays well. Did you get the bonus?
Not yet. Next week.
Next week. Very cool. $250 bonus for cycling 5 times for the first time ever.
Boom.
Very cool. Another little side note, we have a few people from Team Life Changer that actually ended up putting themselves out there and entered into Jill Bowman's Jill Bowman's XHP challenge. So we have some big winners here tonight. So Andrea, take your mic off and say hello and tell everybody what you won.
Hello, everybody. I won $1,500.
How awesome is that? Woo! Very cool. And how did you do that?
Being awesome.
Yeah, I know. What were your numbers? Let's hear your numbers.
Well, this month I lost 9 pounds and several inches. I can't remember the inches, but overall I've lost 87 pounds.
How badass is that? So what are we doing for the 100-pound number? What's the date? When's it going to happen?
I'm hoping pretty soon, but
don't give me that hoping shit. I know you're red. I can talk to you this way. Don't give me that hoping. What is it? What's the date? Give me the date.
I'm going to say 2 months.
Give me the
April
date.
1st.
I want a
April
date.
1st.
April 1st. There you go. My yellow answered for me.
April 1st?
April 1st.
Somebody write that down.
You do that.
Andrea's in the 100-pound club on April 1st.
Yes.
Very cool. It's going to be exciting.
You're going to see me on stage at Celebration.
All right. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Is our other TLC winners on? No? One of the others was on your team also, right, Andrea?
Yeah, Chris Lopez.
Chris Lopez. He was on. He won 3rd place. And Dan, he won $250. He was in 3rd place. And Dan
lost 31 pounds his first month.
How much?
31 pounds.
31 pounds in a month.
Yep.
Yeah, this shit doesn't work.
No, and he didn't even start exercising yet.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Nutrition doesn't work. Dan, unmute. Who was
Yes.
And your other guy that won, who was it?
Yep. Dave Broadworth, he started on his 2nd month he got in, but Actually, no, it was his first month as well. Lost, I think, 26, 27 pounds, ton of inches. It was kind of funny. The guy that enrolled him, Dan Medich, won our Team Life Changer Challenge. Well, again, my pockets aren't as deep as Bowman's, so Medich won our challenge and he won $200. His protege finished second in Bowman's challenge and raked in 500. So
Nice.
sorry about your luck, Medich.
That's right. That's awesome. That's good stuff, man. You know, and I love it. And this is the kind of stuff, you guys, that it's so important. You guys are the leaders, right? So the fact that you're in it or you're not in it is not relevant. What's more important is the fact that you're telling your team about it. Okay? Get your team members into these contests. You know, if you win, that's fantastic. And obviously I'm super excited that Andrea won, and she's had all kinds of kind of a gray cloud events going on the last few days. So between her traffic accident and some other stuff, so it's awesome that she was able to be the recipient of that. But the reality is that when you guys will push these kind of contests down to your team and we can celebrate them as a group, then great things happen that way. And that's how we grow as a team and make ourselves stronger, right? Okay, so I think that's the extent of the congratulations that go out right now. Trying to think if there's anything else. Anybody else got anything that needs to be acknowledged? I'm blown away by the number of people on this call, you guys. Blown away. I don't even know how many. I've run out of fingers to count, so I'm done at this point. I can't count any higher. So, all right, cool. Well, the first, what we're going to do is, now that we've done the recognitions, I want to introduce Jilliene to the group. We are going to, for those of you that aren't familiar with what we're doing here on the Zoom calls, is we're rotating it around to the different people that make, that have rank advanced, and so it becomes something important, right? And what we want to do, and because it's happening, we're getting so many more people on here that are rank advancing to these ranks. We can have more variety of people talking from the executive, which is the leadership position. You've got two jobs in Isogenics. Become an executive and make more executives. That's it. There's really, that's what you should be focused on. And what we want to do is hopefully show people how to make more executives. And you've got to get people on your team in order for you to make it to executive. So the goal is, in the next 90 days, is for everybody to bring in 10 new consultants onto their team, and hopefully we'll get them there. So with that, Jilliene and her husband Brian have been rocking it out, and they've done some great things, and they made executive last month, correct? January, the last week of December, right?
No, it was after last week of January.
It was the last week of January. Okay, so last week of January. So she made executive.
Or the week before. Oh.
Okay, I couldn't remember. So they're there, but how long have you been in Isogenics now, Jilliene? How long have you?
A year.
1 year exactly, right?
The year on the 27th of January. Yep.
A year on the 27th. Yeah. Oh, that's right, because that was your goal, was to make it within that first year. So again, and you guys are going to hear, right? You'll hear when you go, because obviously Isogenics is going to promote out, a lot of stuff. But one of the things that they're going to promote out is who is, these people that rank advance super fast, right? Because it's kind of exciting to see people do that. But if you compare yourself against these people, you don't know where they're coming from, right? I can't compare myself, or Tracy and I's growth to somebody else's, because I don't know what their world was before this. And quite honestly, it doesn't matter, right? The fact that it took you 1 year to get to executive, you are now you're still called the same thing. You're an executive, right? And not only that, you've got a strong.
Well, we really didn't start till May.
Okay.
I just was on ISA since January.
Right. So it took you some time to get started up and rocking and rolling. And the important thing with that, though, is the fact that there are almost 600,000 active associates in Isogenics, and there's not even a fraction of those ever make it to the rank of executive. So congratulations, it's a big deal. So with that, Jillian's going to take over the call now, and she's going to do the presentation on week 2 and 3. And then when we wrap this up, we're going to talk a little bit about the pools, because we've got a lot of people that have jumped into them, and we'll field a few other calls or a few other questions. So if you have questions, please jot them down in the chat box. While Jillian's talking, I'll have it open so I can see it. And is that David that won? Is that David? Is that you're the one that won the $500, right? He's muted.
Yes, I am.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's very cool, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
What was your total weight loss?
29.4 pounds.
Outstanding. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Jillian, the floor is yours.
Okay, I think we did week 1 and 2 last week. Am I wrong? I mean, I went over all the weeks, but I think we did 1 and 2. So I have notes for 3 and 4.
Yeah, we did 1 and we touched on 1.
Oh, am I frozen? Can you hear me?
But if you want to touch on, we hear you. But if you want to touch on, because this is technically, we're in the second week. So if you want to touch on week.
Okay, I'll do the second week too.
Yeah, that would be best.
Yep. Okay. So this is the same site that we were on before, as the isa-biz.com.
Not there yet.
Can't see it?
No, you're on the Zoom page.
Hmm.
In your tabs across the top, I don't even see Isogenics up there.
I can see it. I can see
I
it.
see it.
Really?
Anyone else?
Yeah, I see it, Jillian.
I see it too.
Okay, go ahead.
Can we see it? Okay. So it's the same site, isabiz.com. It's under the 6 weeks to Crystal Executive tab. And it's all laid out in weeks. And what I noticed when I was going through it is that each week is a training, a task, and a goal, which is really nice for time management people. I looked at these, the Lynn H's 8 Steps to Success call. This is just a podcast call, so there's no video to this one. Then this is David Wood again, his Amplified Network Marketing site. You can go on there and pick all the podcasts. What I tend to do though is that I downloaded the app, and you can do the same thing, find all the podcasts. I listen to them at the gym, or I listen to them in the car. So it kind of tag teams my training with other things that I'm doing, so I can make the most of my time. These are definitely for real worth listening to, because first off, he's just a powerful speaker, but his guests are people that are doing the things that we're trying to do. And it's nice to hear their journeys and how to get to them. Network Marketing Mythbusters, I think we did go over this last week, but that's just basically things that, I mean, if we're all on this call, most of us are feeling pretty confident with network marketing. So it wasn't anything I felt like I needed to see, but it's definitely, if you're having any, second thoughts or wondering about some of the myths you've heard about it, it's worth watching. The vision boards with your 90-day and one-day dreams. I know some teams did those last week. We tried, but we got a little chatty and didn't get them quite finished. And then the team calls, obviously this would be our team call. And then this was schedule 5 3-way calls with your upline. I know we got into some discussion last week about like what 3-way calls are and what they look like. And when I was digging through here, it was kind of cool. There's like these little links on the right-hand side, and one of them is the 3-way call guide, which gives a little bit of a breakdown on like how to get into it and what you can do. I don't know if anybody wants to click into that, but I liked it because I don't utilize 3-way calls very much, and I would like to start. Add 10 people to your follow-up list. Practice drawing the money for 10 new people. Journal every day 10 things you're grateful for. An attitude of gratitude attracts abundance. And become crystal manager by helping 2 of your personally enrolled become consultant. A lot of us are doing that. We've had a lot of growth, so it's been a pretty cool week. You come down to week 3, and it's kind of the same. It's the Amped Your Training. I started to watch it. There's 2 things to that. One is a podcast with Emily Rivera. I can't say her name. It's like 2 hours long, and it's a podcast, so it's quite lengthy. And then there is a video directly after that with Holly Dumont that's about 7 minutes long. The Road to Director and Executive video is basically just what it sounds like. How many consultants you need, how many on either side, how to build that. Next is the 5 3-way calls. Same thing. A lot of these, I went through a lot of them. A lot of the weeks are repetitive as far as your tasks. Doing the 3-way calls, drawing the money, follow-up list, and then attitude of gratitude. And then this was help 2 more personally people become a consultant by helping them enroll 2 more people. I like the goals. And I like the walkthrough of it. But some of it, I think, needs a little bit of personalization. The Super Saturday, I watched that also, and that one was a virtual, so it's a video, and you can see like what a Super Saturday is all about and what they have, because those are associate runs, so they're different from some of the other events that we've been to. Revisit your why, write out your why and your vision for others. In the 90-day launch, there's a part with that Simon Sinek video. That's a really good video to watch about like why we find the why and how we utilize it to empower other people to grow their teams. 5 more 3-way calls, 10 more people to your list, practice drawing the money for 10 new people, and the attitude of gratitude, journaling every day, 10 things you're grateful for. Like I said, a lot of these tasks are repetitive, and I think it's just to get you in the habit of doing these things as you grow your business. And the goal for that week is to just become a crystal director, and that's helping to personally enroll 2 more, and now you'll have a total of 6 consultants. A lot of the training on there is pretty good. Holly Dumont is easy to watch, and they're pretty personable, but I really do like these links on the side. I don't know if anybody can see them if the pictures are over them, but there's like the new associate enrollment or the guide to adding your new associate. I definitely I'm going to click this and see what happens. Like these are just the regular enrollment forms. But there is one. Like just for new and social, like our new enrollees that are maybe trying to enroll new people, this is a great kind of tool that you can put together to show them step by step how to enroll. Click this, push this. I know personally I get a lot of questions when someone goes to enroll someone else for the first time. So I thought that this was pretty interesting as far as, even as far as create their username, create their password. It just gives them a lot of tools that takes it out of your hands and helps them empower themselves to get it done. Then there was my favorite. This is my favorite. And I know Isagenix just came out with theirs, but I thought it was kind of nice to sponsor a new associate checklist. As you're signing or enrolling new people, it gives you a little thing of email them with their associate and use their IDs, usernames, their password. Make sure that they know what those things are. I don't know about you, I get a lot of questions from people when it's about time for auto ship about what is my password, what is my username. Showing them how to log into their back office. This isn't really in the new associate checklist that Isagenix has given us. This is kind of more personal. And showing to draw the money and how to put them in your Facebook pages and even as far as your follow-up and your recognition, like check in day 1 through 7 every other day, show, especially when they're cleansing, or check in on day 15, show them how to eat for free, watch the videos. Day 21, by then you should be showing them how to get on their auto ship. So these are more things that are not so much about getting to executive. It was just stuff that I found here. The trainings that are in these weeks are pretty good. I think that they help to show you what other people are doing and give you a way to get it done. But as like I said, the tasks are very repetitive. I went through a lot of the weeks and they were almost the same. Follow-up list, practice drawing the money, journal every day. I mean, if those things become instant, then I think our teams will grow faster. But that was really all it was for those 2 weeks. It's just some more trainings, and then those other things were just enrolling the consultants and getting your people paid, which I know, like Dan Ferguson likes to say, if you get your people paid, they stay. That's it.
All right, very cool. There was a, go ahead and take the screen share off. Okay, so that was good stuff.
It's really weird to talk to yourself. You can't hear anything.
I know, right? I know, because I had muted mine too, but you had did a, oh, I'm getting notes handed to me. So I had muted mine as well, but no, that was real good. And you went through it real concise and I think it was good. Lena had a question. Lena, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask away.
I just had a question, and I did miss last week's call, but what is practice drawing new money from 10 people?
Yeah, that's basically the whole thing of just drawing out, you know, being comfortable in drawing out U plus 2, then plus 2. So, and, you know, we've all done it, right? I would like to think anyway, we've all done it. But if you haven't done it, then you need to do it, and, you know, do it as often as you can. I still don't have a pattern to the way I do it. I think I model it a little bit with each person, but I'm very comfortable in drawing it. It's just that if you recorded me 3 times, it'd probably be different 3 times. Not dramatically, I don't think, but it would be different. So, yeah, University in Action, they have you do it a lot there.
So does it, but I thought it says from new people, or did I read it wrong? Like
for new people.
I think it's 4.
So, yeah.
So just redrawing it over and over.
Yep.
Yep. A lot of the tasks, if you even keep going through like week 5, week 6, they're all very repetitive. So I think it is a lot about getting comfortable, like you said, with drawing the money U plus 2 for people, or doing the tedious, the non-sexy tasks over and over and over until you're comfortable with them.
Yeah, and that's a great point, honestly, Jilliene, is the fact that, you know, I mean, we've only been doing this for, you know, 3 years, but I can tell you that what we do doesn't change much. It's not, and I don't mean to say it in a bad way, but it's not sexy. It's not dramatically different every day. It really is that whole master the mundane, right? You do it over and over and over again. You say hello to people, and you say hi to the waitress and the cab driver and the clerk at the grocery store, and you know, you start paying for your gas by going inside the gas station instead of swiping your card outside so that you can talk to new people. You know, you find ways of saying hi to the person standing around you, right? It's a common joke, I think, and you know, I don't do a great job of holding my tongue on things, but you know, the whole RBF joke, you know, the resting face, right? So you don't want to have that, right? If you're walking around with that face that looks like you're mad all the time, or you're going out and you're in the grocery store and you look totally unapproachable. You know, Tony Mandrich was at he did the University in Action, Super Saturday here in Phoenix, or he was a presenter in it, and he made the comment that, you know, one of the things that he thought was funny is that people would walk up to him at the gym after he was on Isogenics for a while, and they said, "You're just kind of more approachable." And he was like, "I'm approachable?" And this is a big guy, right? You know, his tattoos and, you know, he got his head bandana on and everything else, but he's approachable in that environment, right? So you got to recognize the environment that you're in. If you are going someplace and you're going to be around a bunch of professional people and you're choosing to go there in your sweatpants and a t-shirt that says nothing on it that's anything other than, you know, have another beer, some, you know, kind of wisecrack joke, then just recognize the fact that you're probably not approachable to that set of people. You know, we did our presentation today, right? So I got my jersey shirt on, right? It's kind of funny. I was actually getting ready to put on a different shirt yesterday, and I was like, I wear my Isogenic shirt so much anymore that it's like I just pick out a different one to wear, and that's kind of weird to some degree. But the other side of me is that's what I do, right? I mean, if you worked for any other business, you would have, you know, if that's your work shirt, then that's your work shirt. So don't let that get in your head. I even kind of let it get in my head a little bit. I was like, wow, everybody sees me with these shirts on all the time, but that's what I do, right? That's who I am. And those are the kind of master of the mundane kind of things I'm talking about that you're going to need to make sure that you're doing over and over and over again. You know, quick silly side note, right? Just because I know everybody gets them. I went back and forth with somebody today who's actually enrolled. I don't believe they're on the call, and if they are, I would still say it because it is bad information. That they made the comment that their doctor had told them to quit taking the shakes because there was too much of this one particular amino acid in it, and it was arginine or something. And so I didn't know. I mean, half the stuff, guys, I don't know what some of this stuff is, so I had to look it up, right? I had to research what is arginine. And when I look it up, it's basically in everything, right? It's in fruits and vegetables and beans, and it's in everything, right? There's 655 milligrams in a shake, right? In one piece of chicken, there's 9,000 milligrams in it, right? So my comment back to him was, well, I don't know if the doctor's giving you the right information because I don't know what you could possibly eat that doesn't have it in it. And the person's response was, yeah, but your body digests powder differently than it digests food, regular food. And at that point, guys, I got nothing. I can't have an argument. I can't have a conversation with somebody who thinks that your body can recognize once it gets to your stomach, whether it came from an injection or it came from you chewing it up into powder or you started with powder and you rehydrated it, right? I can't have a conversation with that person because they've got something in their head that makes no sense to me. If that concept was true, how would a pill ever work? Right? Because there's powder inside the pill, right? I mean, how would a capsule ever work? How would eating ever work, right? So if you get those kind of comments, just recognize the fact that we all get them, right? And that's kind of where I was going with this. It's master the mundane, but recognize when you cannot. I don't have the skill set, and I didn't know the person well enough to go into some conversation with them about how they need to do some additional research, right? So anyway, point is that you will get conversations that you may have to just smile and wave, boys, smile and wave, as they say in the cartoon, right? So anyway, so that's kind of it with that. But the mass of the mundane, I wrote a couple of comments down. I was kind of writing down while we were talking there. Let's see, what else was it? Let's see what else. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I think that was about it. Okay, master the mundane. You have 60 days to get to manager. So any of you that are interested in trying to get that manager bonus, you have 60 days to do that, and that day starts on January 11th, 2016. So we're approaching that 60-day. Actually, we're just now approaching the 30 days, right? So you've still got an additional 30 days. So you've got plenty of time to make that happen. Look at your back office. Look and see who's got a pirate, right? Somebody that you've enrolled that has enrolled one person. Maybe they're interested in helping enroll somebody else. But there's a way to make that happen. So look back in there and find those. I see Bob Dirk is on the call. He's walking around his kitchen. And the conversation that he and I had today was about, when you have people that become consultants and then they fall off, right? Know this. As you grade a consultant and that consultant falls off, or those things happen. That's why, like Jilliene said, you teach your consultants how to, right? Because once you get consultants that are getting paid, then they stay consultants. Generally, not always is that even the fact, but generally speaking, they will stay as consultants. If they fall off, recognize the fact. Don't forget who they are, because let's say that you get to 5 consultants on one side and you're at 4 consultants on the other. You can go in there and tap on that person that was a consultant before and maybe bring them back to life. And now you're at 5 and 5. Okay. And when you're at 5 and 5, now you're at executive. And yeah, you might have to, and again, I'm talking to leaders here, right? So and my comment that I'm going to give to all of you is that you have to, I won't say you have to. I would not expect to earn 6 or 7 figure income without investing some of my money to make that happen. So if I have to buy a position to get somebody to executive, that does 2 things. It puts my money out there as the investment, and that investment's, I'm going to eat it, right? So it's not a typical investment where you don't know if you're going to get it back. I'm going to eat the food eventually. But it also puts a fire under my butt to get that position replaced. So if I know that every month I'm having to pour in $500 or $600 a month into a particular position in order to keep a consultant active, then that's going to put a fire under my belly to be able to go out and find a new person to replace that person. And that's what making yourself, in quotes, making yourself an executive can do for you, is it should put a fire under you and say, hey, look, I'm going to replace this person, because Jilliene is one of my consultants and she's not doing anything and she's making any money. So yeah, I'm picking on you, girl. So I've got to replace her, right? It's not her fault, right? I'm not going to blame her because she's not staying a consultant. I just got to recognize that where she's at, right? She's not ready to be a consultant. She's not interested really in doing what it takes to make the income. So since she's really not interested and she's really not ready, it's not her fault. It's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I need to go find somebody that's interested and that is interested and that is ready. So don't be afraid to create those positions as long as you have an intention and an exit plan. Okay. Vicky's sitting there, she's beside me in the thing, right? A little Hollywood Squares thing here. So she's a great example. And I know she won't care if I say it. She had that position as well, right? And then she's going to recreate it, because at some point it got too much. Right? You don't want to have too many of those, because then the math just doesn't make sense, right? I'm not going to tell you to continue spending thousands and thousands of dollars a week or a month to keep positions open without a true exit plan. So you need to be able to replace those in a timely fashion. You just have to figure out what your budget allows and how much time you have to devote to this business in order to make that happen, right? I've got more time than some other people have. Some people have more time than me, so they can devote different amounts of time or whatever they consider to be important. So that's kind of the little comment I've got for making it to get into executive, right? So understand that it is important. Couple quick things that Tracy wrote down here for me. I'm not sure if I understand what all of them are. Events, Chicago Super Saturday is coming up February the 13th. I believe, April, are you going back there? Are you going to Chicago? April's going to Chicago for Super Saturday. So if you're in the Chicago area, I recommend that you not only attend, but find other people to attend, and remember to tell the people that are going to attend to invite people to attend, right? Don't let it stop at you. Don't let it stop at them. Encourage them to invite people, right? So get people to show up. In Minneapolis, there's a Super Saturday on February the 20th. So I've made that post the other day in Team Shady about just basically say where you're from, so that because there's people that are on different teams that are closer to each other than you think. It was Kathy, or no, Joyce. Yeah, Joyce Ingram made a post about the fact that she was in Texas and didn't know if there was anybody around, and ended up that there's like 5 other people that were within, stone's throw of her that were on the team. They just weren't in her specific downline. So it was a good generator to get conversation going there. Next week is launch week here. So if you have not scheduled a tasting or something, I would recommend that you schedule it for next week, because Isagenix will offer some sort of an incentive during that week. It may be free shipping, it may be free enrollment, it may be, who knows what it's going to be, but it'll be something that they will offer during that week. So it's important to get that set up. And just know that if they follow through like they normally do, they will not announce what that special something is until either the very, very end of business time Sunday, and most likely not until around noon or 1 o'clock Monday. So don't, last time I know we got a ton of people constantly sending messages, hey, have they announced yet? When they announce, you can count on it. We'll all be throwing it out there all over the place, okay? So just be aware of that. Ideas for your launch parties. If you need ideas, think about the mommy launch or mommy brunch, right? So if you got a bunch of mommies that, got kids and they want to come over, then make it happen, right? Serve up some replenish and serve up some, make some pancakes with the protein and give it to the kids and do those kind of things, right? So that the mommies can see and feel and taste the fact that the kids will eat the Isagenix when it's turned into a pancake, right? Turn it into a muffin, do whatever it is that you need to do, but you can invite them over and turn it into something that is fun and not a traditional, hey, sit down, let me tell you, here's the pictures, here's the products, go through it. You may not have all the products to be able to give that display, so don't let that get caught up in your head. Invite people over to literally try stuff, not in a shake. I like to eat my food, no problem. Watch this, I'll make you a pancake, right? So think about it in that aspect. Athlete training, we're doing one Thursday here at the house, where we've just invited, not exclusively athletes, but mostly it's going to be the people that I cycle with and that sort of thing. So they'll be here, and we're going to serve we are going to serve something for food. What are we serving? Right? I have no idea. So I think it was, at one point it was supposed to be green chili tacos or something is what we were going to serve. So, but again, don't get caught up in the mindset that you've got to, be, only shakes, right? Serve some other stuff. Tracy and I joke all the time, we have shake and bacon Sunday, right? So we have our shake and some bacon and some eggs, and we call it shake and bacon Sunday. So, and Zach even knows it now. It's like, hey, are we having shake and bacon today? Because he wants, something other than just a shake. So we make up the bacon, some eggs, and whatever, right? So make that happen. Lunch and learn. So again, another idea, right? Invite some people over for lunch and some learning. Wine, W-I-N-E, Wine Down Wednesday, not whine like what Dan was doing today earlier about how much checks he had to write out or something. Wine Down Wednesday. There you go. I like it, Vicky. So have your, do that, invite people over. What I'm saying here is it doesn't have to be weird, right? Bring them over, beer and brats, right? Beer, brats, and shakes. And I said that looking at Michael. I don't know why, but maybe it's his Chicago style, right? It's the Chicago style, right? The Chicago way. So the reality is that it's okay to invite people to enjoy an actual event. It doesn't have to be just a straight shake presentation. But you need to know the intention that you have. So you've got your products laid out that you have available to you. You're going to actually do a presentation of some sort during the course of the event. You're going to actually show a video maybe, and you're going to take and dedicate it, guarantee yourself, 15 to 30 minutes of, I am going to give a presentation to these people at some point during this, Wind Down Wednesday or this event, right? Really important, partners with others in Isagenix. So a partner with other team members. And if you don't have other team members that you can partner with easily, find somebody else that's doing some other not shake or not nutrition related network marketing business, right? Find somebody that does Jamboree nails or somebody that does jewelry or somebody that does something else and say, hey, look, you invite your people, I'll invite my people, and we'll have, we'll do a networking party, right? So now, again, people that do networking, they want to be able to network, right? So now you're going to let them network to your people and you're going to network with their people. So that's a really important deal, right? I mean, we did a big one where there's a guy that does olive oils. So we brought him in and he did his olive oil presentation and we did our nutrition presentation. So it's really important to be able to share those ideas and open up your network to other people. Just because they do something different doesn't mean that you can't invite them in, right? If they're in Melaleuca, for example, right? Melaleuca has some shakes, but mostly their stuff is household kitchen cleaning stuff. One of our up and comers, I don't know if she's on the call, Lynn. She's in Hawaii. Oh, Lynn's in Hawaii. So Lynn's in Hawaii, but Lynn Kwan, she was Melaleuca, and now she's Isogenics. And you know why? Because we invited her into the world. So that's why. Start tours. So recognize, go on your back office, find out where there's start tours at in your neighborhood, in your area. Do you have one of the tickets? April and I and Tracy and Garrett and Cody and Jamian all put together a thing because there's a start group tour here in Phoenix. So what we're doing is we're inviting everybody to come to our house, and then we're going to get a party bus put together. And so we made this little ticket looking thing, right? Looks like an admission ticket. And this admission ticket then has information on it about the trip or about the tour, right? So this is the Isogenics, the little Isogenics thing. And then we Marco actually did this for us. He's on our team, and Marco created the little QR code here. So if they scan it, it'll take them to our Facebook page. And then you can see, right? So it's got all this information about the start group tour. And for those of you, let me see, check out what this says right here. Look what they're going to get. A Team Shady hoodie. How you like that? And it's going to say, because of the age group, it's hashtag start your shady life.
Yeah.
So that's going to be written across the lower back of the hoodie, right? And then they'll have the Team Shady logo on the back. So start your shady life, and it's going to be a hoodie. And because of our target audience, right? So we're going to give these shirts out. We're going to give these hoodies out. We'll get the word out, and hopefully that turns into something else for the growth of the team, right? So again, outside the box, right? And it's got our fork in it. See the fork? Keep your fork, right? So it's got the fork in there as well. So those are the kind of things that are important to do and think of that are going to help create your business and open your network, right? I mean, it's going to open your network. We're going to invite all these people to our house. We don't know who they are. We're going to take them in a bus and give them some booze and take them to the start tour. Could be fun, right? So anyway, so we'll wrap it up from there. This is a little bit of a shorter one tonight, which is good. So it's about 10 minutes till. So if we got any questions or anything else that we can throw out, there's I don't know if there's any more questions over here in the chat box. I haven't been watching it. Okay. All right. Ooh, I like a hoodie. Yeah, right. So if anybody has, oh, look at that. Oh, see, Vicky's showing her, everybody look at where Vicky's spot's at. Vicky's got her display cabinet set up, right? That's nice. I like it. I don't know what Dirk is doing. He's just standing there with his arms folded. Doesn't look too happy about it.
Hey, I've got words for anybody going to Chicago.
Okay, what do you got?
Just make sure that you email me t-shirt sizes. Keep inviting your guests. The guests are invited to the post-event happy hour / meeting. So if you have any other questions, comment in the event page, or we've got that private messenger group going, but need to make sure we have numbers for that so we can make sure we have enough food. I think we've got about 30 so far. So,
okay. 30 people going?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
How awesome is that? seriously, guys, this is awesome. This is really, really good stuff, right? I mean, you're going to have 30 other people that are going to be there from your team to be able to hang out with and engage in that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what we got to cover because Tracy just pointed to it. Vicky, come back online and tell about the hotel setup that you have available for anybody that wants to attend Celebration.
Okay, so after talking further with the lady from Treasure Island, her and I are working out the kinks, and I will have the code for everybody to start booking in the next day or so. I have to fax all of the documents over there with the deposits and blah, 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 and I will have the code shortly. So in the next few days, I will post that in Team Shady, and we'll get rocking. I have 34 rooms blocked, I believe, and she said we can have more if needed.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, Vicky.
Yep.
Vicky, if I already booked my room, so will I be able to get in on this? And
Yeah, okay, so what you're going to need to do, Michael, is you're going to need to book with me and then call and cancel your room with the hotel.
okay, copy that.
Okay.
Did you already pay,
There's
Mike?
no penalty.
Yeah, I got my tickets for the event, in the Maroon 5 thing, and then I also got the hotel rooms all set.
No, but did you already pay for your hotel room?
Just the one night.
Okay. And are you staying at Treasure Island already?
Yes, I am.
Then you may be able to, Vicky, he may be able to, can you help him just be able to transfer that money that he has with them already?
Yeah, they should be able to do that. And I know they have their cancellation policy is awesome.
Yeah, it's like 48 hours.
Right. So
okay.
You're not going to get charged. So that's what's so amazing about it. And the thing of it is it's literally right across the street from where the event is. And I believe the rooms, the resort fee is $30 per day. However, I got her to knock that down to $25 per day.
Nice.
So the rooms were 70 and 100. So, so basically you add the $25 onto that. So you're looking at $100 or $125. And Monica Bruce, I asked them about you going in a couple days early, and she already has some rooms set aside for people arriving early. It'll all be taken care of. I just need a few days to get the code. And now this is awesome as well. We have until July 5th, I believe, to book. So
wow.
we book at your leisure. I mean, obviously, the rooms are going to go fast. Once that code is out there, I'm going to book 5 of them myself for my people. So I would book the room right away. If you have to cancel, there's no penalty. So just book it and go from there. You know what I mean? And then also, again, we have until July 7th to book. So we have the blocker rooms until July 7th. Not saying we're going to have all of them until then, but, it's kind of like once Team Shady gets booked, then just open it up to everybody,
Right.
It's going to be awesome to have everybody at the same hotel.
Yeah. So very cool. Thanks, Vicky, for doing that. And, like I say, get with Vicky if you have any more questions about that, but I just want to make sure everybody was aware that Vicky has put that together and is working on making that happen. So very cool deal. I don't know why Monica Bruce would want to go to Vegas early. I don't know. I know what she's up to already, right? Me, I don't want to go early.
Whatever.
Except for right now. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. I think that's kind of the conclusion of it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else too big. You guys are doing great. I really hope that you guys are putting your, going through the steps, master the mundane, right? So make your vision boards. Okay. Make your vision boards. I would turn the camera around and show you, but Tracy and I, we haven't done it, right? So I'm telling you guys the same thing, and I say it out loud because it makes me have to do it. We literally have all this. Oh, yeah, we got our old one out here. I'm sitting in the living room area. Yeah, there's our old one. But we got the old one out here because we've got all of our stuff for our new one over here. But then that turned into a budget conversation, and then the budget conversation turned into booking stuff for the, setting college fund and changing the college fund. So it turned into everything. But what it really did is it did what a vision board's supposed to do. It created conversation. So if you can do this with your spouse, I'm really going to recommend it. Okay. because, or your spouse, your partner, or whatever, because if you do that together, what you're going to find, and we're even engaging Zach in it to really get your kids involved in the vision, because it's going to mean more, right? When that thing's up there and if you just took and thumbnailed a couple pictures up there, all right, it might mean something to you. But if you really take some time and put some effort into it, get the family involved in it, it's going to mean more to you. And who knows, maybe it's something we're saving and looking back on later. On the topic of the spouses, I got invited to be a part of a Zoom call that's going to take place on Friday evening. I don't know the time. I know I've been told the time, but I don't remember it. But I'll put it on here. I'll put it on Team Shady. Tracy says 6 o'clock Arizona time. And what has happened is another team, and not related to our team, but another team has put together this Zoom thing that they want to do. And it's going to be basically one spouse is involved in the Isagenix business and the other spouse isn't, and maybe even isn't interested. So how do you deal with, maybe it's you, maybe it's some of your team members that have, where they are really interested in being involved, but the spouse just isn't there. And I know we've got other people on the team, I know me and Tracy, I know April and Garrett, I know Vicky and Pete, just because they talked about it recently. You've got other people that were in it and the spouse has come around and now they're fully engaged, but at first they weren't. And we want to talk about, in kind of a real open format, what that looks like and how that happens, right? How do you get a spouse that's just completely not interested in what you found to be a passion? How do you bring them in without running them out, right? So that's going to be something that's going to take place on Friday. I'll get you guys the Zoom code. So if you're interested, I'll get it posted on the team call. But it's going to, and I don't have anything to do with setting it up. I just know they asked me and Tracy to be a part of it. So because they know our story, right? And for those of you that don't, I got started in the Isagenix business, or the nutrition. I was taking the nutrition for like 11 months, not really talking about it. Tracy finally came along only because I, said, hey, try this. She started trying it a little bit. And then she was kind of like, she knew it was my passion, or kind of really is my hobby. And she was just kind of watching me do it. And as she's gotten more involved, it has really changed the dynamic of our business. One, because she's coordinated and orchestrated and she keeps stuff in line so we actually get stuff done. But that's the reality, right? So that's how our world has come about. And I know April and Garrett have a similar story. And I know Pete was at NYKO just recently, and that was his first event, right, Vicky? When that is first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he's come around, and now she's taking pictures of him, when he's not looking, well, he's actually doing stuff, saying, look what he's doing. So and my son just ran by naked. So if anybody saw that, I don't know what that was, but anyway. So anyway, thank you guys very much for being here tonight.
Listen, one thing. I know we're talking about all these other events, you guys. However, university, May 19th, 20th, and 21st is another Chicago event, and it's the weekend. It's not just one day. It's Isagenix University. So check that out. They're booking out for the hotels. If you're not, I guess my suggestion, if you don't know you can go, just book the hotel, and if you can't go, just cancel it. You know what I mean? But we all know how awesome it is to actually stay at the events, but that's going to be a good one as well.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Last thing is that I got to cover. Who just made executive? Who was that just made executive that's going to do next week's team call? They've already done one. Munzers have done one. She's out. Damn it. All right, so I got to find somebody else. April, speak up. Pick somebody from your side of the world.
Well, Vicky did one, Lena did one, Jessica did one. I'll do it. I haven't done one lately. I don't know.
You're going to do it?
Yeah, next Tuesday, right? What's next Tuesday? The 9th.
All right.
Yeah. If I don't do it, I'll pick somebody else.
All right. Whatever. You're going to do it. If you speak up, you got it. All right. So April's going to do this one. And you know what? I promised you guys I'd do the pools. Let me do like a 10-minute here on the pools. Anybody that wants to bail out, if you're not interested in the pools, all I'm going to cover next is the pools. And because they're coming up again, so I'm going to go over how income happens in the pools. So if you're interested in that part, that's what I'm going to do. Well, hello, Jennifer Ferguson.
Okay, gotta go.
So
Peace.
I'm gonna make that happen. All right, see you, sis. All right, so I'm gonna fire up my my back office over here so I can see it. And hang on a second, hang with me. But anybody that wants to go, again, thanks for being on here tonight. But, all right, let's see. Okay. I'm almost there, guys. Hang tight. I want to try to get it set up here so that I don't offend anybody, because the person that's I'm showing their information isn't on the call. So let me see if I can set this up correctly. Okay, I think that's it. So let's go back to here and share screen. And back office. All right, can you guys see that? I can't hear anybody. I think I've got everybody muted. Somebody tell me if you can see this.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so the way the pools work is this. So very, very basic. When you look in your back office, there's two different ways to pull up your pools. Okay, the director pool. So those of you that are director or getting close to director, and the entry level executive pool are 100% identical. There's nothing difference between the director pool and the entry level executive pool. The way they figure the math is the same. The way they figure your benchmark is the same. Everything is the same. Okay, so for those of you that can, if you want to follow along, if you go into your back office and you go under Team, View Placement Tree, and you go down to where your name is in a little square, off to the left, and I can't jump back and forth here. I wish I could. I would show you exactly where it's at. But off to the left by your name in the little square is a little blue icon, and it says 1-star pool, and right below that it says 2-star pool. Okay. You can click on either one. Either one that you click on is going to generate its own individual report. The 1-star pool is what most of you should be clicking on, and it looks like this. Okay, so the 1-star pool, let me get some annotation going on here so I can, oh, you guys can see my cursor, so it doesn't matter. So this particular person, it's showing what the number of cycles that they've done over the course of this last 4 weeks. Okay. You'll notice that this week date, right, January 10th, 2016, there's 2 weeks missing between this particular one and this particular week. And those 2 weeks are just sitting there in a float, okay? And they will generate themselves on next month's report, but there's always 2 weeks sitting out here in the float waiting to be inserted, okay? So when somebody says, what's your benchmark and how is that relevant? This is what your benchmark is. When you are a director or when you are an entry-level executive, and that means somebody who is an executive cycling less than 20 times per week every week, you are going to see this, you're going to see this type of a setup for your benchmark. So if you add all these numbers up and you divide it by 4, it's going to come up to a rounded number of 6. Okay, so 6 is this person's benchmark. Now you can see here that last week, this person cycled 9 times and they have a benchmark of 6, okay? This week, currently, they are at 1, okay? It's Tuesday, so they're at 1, and they will eventually, hopefully they'll cycle this number as well. What happens here with this particular person is, and this shows estimate, but you can you can figure out what it is. It's pretty simple math. I can even figure it out. Cora, can you follow along? 6 minus 9, you got it? You with me? Just teasing you. Love you. So 6 minus 9 is 3, right? And then whatever this turns into, you're going to have that minus 6 is also, right? So let's say that they cycled 9 times all 4 weeks, right? They would have this number would be 3, this number would be 3, it'd be 3, and it'd be 3. So they'd have 12, right? So they'd have a net cycle growth of 12, okay? Because 3 times 4 is 12. So they would end up with a net cycle growth of 12, and that would be their net cycle growth for the month of February, okay? Because this is February's report that we're working on. Interestingly enough, and I'm not going to go into it too much, I don't want to make it more confusing, but February is actually a 5-week month. So there's going to be 5 weeks in the month of February. So you'll notice that when this report's completed, there'll actually be 5 weeks here, and each of those weeks is it'll be calculated down here at the bottom. So what they do to make it easy for you is they tell you what is your monthly net cycles. What's your monthly net cycles? So they're going to look at whatever this number was here, and let's say that it is 3 per week, and there are 5 weeks, so the number would be 15. Okay, so the number here would be 15, and here they would reinsert the number 15 right here, because monthly net cycles 15. How many weeks are in the month? In this particular week of February, there will be 5. Okay, so it's going to say take the number of your net cycles, and then they're going to divide that by the number. They're going to divide it by the number of weeks in the month. So they're going to take 15 divided by 5. Okay, that equals 3, right? And then they're going to see how many weeks were you qualified. So how many of these weeks did you qualify as a director? Were you a director every single week of the month? Were you an executive every single week of the month? If you weren't, then you're going to have to insert here what it was. But let's say, just for example, that you were an executive all 5 weeks of the month. So it would be 15 divided by 5 equals 3. 3 times you were executive all 5 weeks, so it'd be 3 times 5. So you would get 15 shares. Okay. If you were only qualified 4 weeks, then it would be 3 times 4 equals 12. So you would get 12 shares in the pool. All right. If you get 12 shares in the pool, then that pool money is determined after Isagenix figures out how many people were fully involved. Now, as of late, the director pools, I think, have been in the mid 100s, right? So if you're a director and you earned, for easy math, for Brent math, let's say it was 10 qualified shares, and the pools and the shares were worth $150 a piece, right? You made $1,500 bonus, $1,500 in bonus if you had 10 qualified shares, and if the dollar amount is $150 per share. Now in the executive pools, they've been from anything from the low 200s to the high 200s per share, right? So if you're an executive and you have 10, and let's say that the shares are worth $250 a piece, you made $2,500 that month in the executive pools. Okay, so what you're really trying to do is you want to enter into your next rank of director or executive when this benchmark is as low as you can be, or when you know that big things are getting ready to happen over here, because now you've hit your benchmark, now you've got your low benchmark, and boom, you're ready to turn it on and get it rocking and rolling, right? So in this particular case, this person should be getting their executive on so that they can get this. They're not at executive status, but that's okay. Or it would have different information down here. But that's what they're missing out on, right? So they're missing out on these extra shares on a weekly basis, okay? So I'm going to take a pause and see if there's anybody's got a question on this particular one. And I can only see a couple of Michael's mind's blown. He says, I can only see a few of you. So if you have a question, just hit your unmute and ask away.
Brent?
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah. You just touched on it. If we're only executive for 3 out of the 4 weeks, then you just multiply it times 3. You just miss out on the 1 week. But all 4 weeks of hitting your benchmark counts toward the whole month, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you were an executive or not, let's say that you were a director here, you were a director on this week, but the rest of the weeks you hit executive, then they're still going to add up that same, it's still going to give you that same total. It's just that you're only going to be eligible for 4 of the 5 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Now, here's the exception to that. Let's say that you were a director, but you were still eligible for the director pools at the same time you're eligible for the executive pools. Then what they would do is they would still give you your director money on that first week, and then they would calculate it, they would still calculate the same. So let's say you're a director for one, for example, let's say this number was 50. Let's go back to this number again being 15, right? For your directors, you would actually have two of these setups down here. It would show 2 different ways. It would show director pools. It would say DIR right here. It would say DIR, director. And it would say number of net cycles. It would be 15. Weeks in the month would be 5. Qualified weeks 1. Number of shares, 5 shares, director pools. Then it would go down here and it'd do the same thing. And it'd say how many shares that you got in the executive pool. So it would actually pay you director money and executive money if you were eligible for both pools at the same time.
I have a question.
Who's that?
Cora.
Hi, Cora.
So with that pool money, that is paid half at that time and then half at the end of the year?
No.
All of it.
You're thinking of holiday pools. So this money is paid all that's the, again, you guys, and I'm going to touch on this real quick. The difference with Isogenics and some of these other companies, and I'm going to say them out loud because I don't care. It Works is a great example. It Works has this whole thing where they say, oh, you win $10,000, but they pay you that $10,000 spread out over the course of time. And if you ever fall out of your status, then you don't get the remaining balance of that $10,000, right? Isogenics, you earn it, you're going to get paid. This money is going to be paid to you the following week or the following month on the day that's the 15th. I'm sorry, the Monday closest to the 15th of the month. Okay, so if you earn this money today, let's say it's the end of the month. Let's say you earned money last month. Let's say that last month you earned money. You would be paid that bonus on Monday closest to the 15th of February. I don't know. I'm not looking at the calendar, but whatever.
Brent?
Yeah.
If you go to the flyer on the contest and promotions, it gives you the schedule of when it's paid out and the month to month.
Yeah.
In your back office right there. If you click on it, if you go right there to your back office, if you're on there, it's contest and promotions and then the executive flyer.
Yep.
Pool.
Yep. Perfect. Lena, I see you got your hand up there, so I'm just kind of scrolling down through here. Do you have a question?
I did, and I don't know if this one makes sense.
Okay,
so I was just following along with you because I was, and I decided to click on my director pool.
Okay.
Just because you said it was either or.
Yep.
So I have not been a director, nor am I eligible for director bonuses.
Right.
However, this is the first time that it says, and this says this in my executive pool too. So again, if you go to the weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, I was an executive for all 4 weeks. On the last week, the 4th week, it says executive 1-star golden circle, which I already was, so I don't know why that says that.
Okay.
But now going back to my director pool, because of that, it says 1 star, 7 cycles, 4 weeks, 1 qualified week equals 1.75 shares in my director pool.
Well, hang on a second. Oh, I got to pop up. Let me do a stop share. Pop yours on there, Lena.
Oh, I'm not on that computer.
Oh, okay.
I've got two going.
Okay. I can't explain it because I'm not sure if I'm going to tell you the right information. You're looking at your direct, but what? Okay, so go down to the bottom.
Give me 1 second and I'll get it down there.
Okay.
Brent, it's still, no matter if you're not eligible for the director's pool, it still shows you what your director pool shares are, even though if you aren't eligible for them.
Yeah, but Lynn is saying that she's an executive that whole time, so I don't know. It shouldn't have a. It'll still give the calculations, but what should happen is that down at the bottom it should say.
Okay, wait.
NA.
So Brent, look at mine once.
Actually, you know what? Lynn, hang on. I can get to yours. Oh, you got okay. You're pulling it up.
Yep. I'm there. Just got to get to it.
No, not this. I'm actually going to have her pull up her actual screenshot.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm talking about she wants to see her. We're going to go over her actual pool screen, not this.
No, but why does this have 22, 29, 216? What is? That's old.
Those are the date. That's just a sample. That's just an example.
Oh.
That's just the flyer.
Yeah, that's just the flyer.
Okay.
Yep, that's just the flyer.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit your stop share so that Lena can pop hers on there. I can probably I should have actually just done it. I should have just gotten to Lena's.
You got it, Lena?
Yep.
Lena, give me your, oh, she got it. Okay.
So I've never had that at all before. Like it's always said qualified shares none because I was never qualified for shares after being out of the director pools. So Vicky, you should check yours to see what yours says.
No,
are you back?
Scroll up to the top, Lena.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go look at mine because I'm back in the director. Now I qualify for them again because it's a new reset?
No, I'm telling you guys, it's not. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because Michael proved I didn't have the right answers last week. Is your current rank right now executive?
Yes.
Okay, then here, one thing that did happen, I can tell you, is that on last Sunday, Isogenics did a complete computer reset. So they've had a lot of little bugs that have popped up. Go to your 1-star report for this same month.
Okay.
The other thing is that you're only eligible for the 1-star money as executive for the first 6 months that you're at executive. So how long have you been executive, Lena?
This month.
This is your first month?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Keep going down. Yeah. So you've got 7 qualified shares in the executive pool. So this is going to be good, girl. So you are going to get paid on 7 shares in the executive pool. Okay. You're probably going to earn someplace, my estimation would be somewhere around a couple $100 plus or minus per share. Okay. So you're going to get that check. You'll get this money on the Monday closest to the 15th of next month, or of this month, February.
Okay.
This is January's pool money.
Any idea why all of a sudden this 1-star shows up, or maybe that's just that reset that they did?
I have no idea.
I think it's the reset because mine all of a sudden has 1-star next to a couple items as well, and I'm like, that's weird. I've never seen that.
Did you cycle 10 times that week?
I did.
That's probably why.
Oh, yep, you're right. You are exactly right. So they gave you the 1-star designator.
But I already had that 1-star.
Right, but it may.
It was for that particular week.
It may have just been that qualified week. It could just.
Yeah, that makes
qualified rank for that week is 1-star.
Gotcha.
And 1-star golden circle means, and just so you guys know, 1-star means 10, golden means executive. If it's silver, then it could be consultant, it could be manager, it could be director. It would be silver. So if you see somebody says that they're a silver circle, that means that they are not an executive.
how about, is there different numbers for when you create executives underneath you?
Yes.
And what is that?
Okay, go to your home screen. Oh, it's right there. Stop.
Oh, sorry, I hit home.
No, you're okay. So that's right. So see right here where it says active date, paid as executive rank, recognition rank, and then see where it says executive?
Yep.
Move your cursor right there. Yep. So it would say you are a 1-star golden circle. Okay. Your active rank is executive 1-star golden circle. What your recognition rank will be when you make when one of your people becomes an executive, it will no longer say executive here. Right, see right underneath recognition rank? Go up with your cursor right there. Yep. That will no longer say just executive. It will say 1-star executive. So
Gotcha.
when one of your people makes executive, it'll say 1-star. Then it'll say 2-star. Then it'll say 3, 5, 6. However many people that you've personally enrolled become executive, it will give that number there.
Got ya.
Okay. Ours right now says 2-star. Ours right now says 2-star executive.
Perfect.
So, and then it says 2-star and then other numbers. But yeah, so you got the 2-star executive there. Okay.
So no idea that maybe it's just
yeah, go back to it one more time. I want to see that again because I want to see if it had an NA there.
No, it didn't. That was the crazy thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because you're not going to qualify for the director pools. That's not going to give you director pool. 1-star. See, I would have thought there was it said NA
right
by 4. So you got nothing there. See, but this is the way. But well, I can't say because I don't know what the hell they're doing all the time now. But the generally speaking, this where it says NA, if you were playing in both pools, that would say director, and this would say 1-star pool, or it would say executive or whatever. I don't know why this says 1-star and why they've separated it out, because you're not being paid 1.7 shares, because they will round that, right? They would round that to 2. Okay. And they wouldn't even show 1.75 here if this was a real payout, because it doesn't pay in 0.75s. If this is a 0.5 or above, then this will change into a 2. Okay. So technically you would have been paid for 2 shares, not 1.75 shares.
Perfect. I just never seen it before. It's never said it.
Yeah, I don't know. Good question. I just don't know. I just don't have the answer. When you get your check this next week,
yeah,
let me know if it's when you go to your details and what you read. Let me know so we can go over it so everybody can learn.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Jilliene, you got a question? All I can see is Brian's phone.
Yeah, I had a question. On the active rank for under Jill's, it says manager. So I'm curious why.
Your active rank is always the rank that you were at 2 weeks prior.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a while for everything to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your active rank is always 2 weeks prior. So if you cycle 20 times and you become a 2-star, but 2 weeks prior you were cycling 10 times, then it'll still say 1-star till that falls into. That's why, if everybody that went to one of these events, celebration and NYKO and everything else, if they had to wear if their little placard had what their active rank was or what their actual rank was, it would be different than their recognition rank, because there are a lot of people that are recognized as a status that aren't that status now. Okay, because they're not actively participating at their build level that they were, right? So that's the way it works. All right. Anything else? Anybody else?
Brent, this is Dan. I just want to caution our new executives across the board. That share value, And I know Vicki and I talked about this in Chicago. I always predict $100 a share for the executive pool. And two or three months out of my 6, it was right at $100 because there was a lot of pool play. But then there was one month it was $220, and then one month it was like $280. So just before you spend the money that's in that shares, I heard a lot of in the 200s. For my 6 months, half of the time it was right at $100, and the other half of the time
as executive, Dan?
At executive, yes.
Okay. No, that's good. That's good information to have because we haven't been in that pool for a while. So that's good to know. I know that when we were in there, we were like $35 a share. So.
So let me show you. I brought up so I'll be in the director pools now, right? For the reset.
You're not eligible for the director pools though because the director pool is only good for 90 days.
Okay. Sure, hit it.
So you went from the day that because you've already been paid in the director pools, correct? At one point, some time ago.
Yeah.
And the pool money, and they have said that the reset has nothing to do with pool money. That was a question that I asked them. So unless I've been wronged again, and I'll give bad information again. And a lot of this stuff is just going to come out in the wash. I mean, we're going to see it, right? So if you guys see something weird, let's talk about it as a group, because if we find out that, hey, look, there's another way to make money, we need to make sure that all of our team knows it.
Well, but that's why I was surprised that I got the money for the 10 cycles. Why am I?
No, that makes perfect sense. Because Isogenics changed the level at where you get that. So now you get the 10, because 1 star is 1 star, right? What you would have got it at executive, you would have got it wherever, right? So 1 star is 1 star. You hit 10 cycles for your first time.
No, I've already hit it. I hit 20 cycles last year, or not last year, but I hit. I'm still baffled on how I hit 20 because I never saw 20, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's school cycles," and what we talked about the other day. So I'm a 2-star golden, blah blah blah. Well, I just got $500 bonus for cycling 10 times. That's why I called you on Monday, and I was like, "Why am I getting this money?" I got $500. I'm assuming because I cycled the 10 times, like we talked about. And then I cycled 10 times the very next week. So we'll see if I get another $500 this next coming Monday.
Yeah, I guess.
Amazing because I only cycled 3 times that next week. So that would be awesome.
Money, baby. I mean, Isogenics, you know what? They're trying to really ramp this up. And you guys, this is the kind of stuff that, Michael, he's dancing, brother. Watch him. Watch that kid. He's got the dancing moves going on behind you.
He just made me a replenish, so he can do that.
All right. So,
wait, Vicki, I have a question.
Yep.
Did you ever get that bonus before, though?
Yes.
You already hit the bonus, so you actually got paid for it.
Yes. I hit it months ago when I hit 10 cycles before I became executive, and then once I turned executive, I got the bonus.
Okay.
I'm not
I never got the bonus.
Now. I'm just a director right now. So I don't know what the hell.
They just like you. Let it go.
Who knows? Maybe it is something to do with dropping back down to static, hitting it at director.
No, but see, that's the thing. Okay, so that's what I was going to tell you. So I actually, and I didn't realize that this happened, but I actually dropped down to manager for 2 weeks. And I jumped back up to director a week or 2 before NYKO. I don't know.
Yeah, and what's really crappy is that it'd be interesting to,
right.
Well, what would have happened?
No, that was like, damn it, if I would have just waited, I could have been re-eligible for the director pools.
Yeah, my conversation with VIP the other day is what spurred me to make that video, and they said that if you were a manager in 2015 and you fell out of manager, and then you come back into manager in 2016, you're paid the bonus. If you were a director in 2015 and you came back into director in 2016, you're going to get the bonus.
So
if you fell out of executive and you come back to executive, what they said was that you do not get that bonus. You get the one for manager, you get the one for director, but you cannot re-earn the executive bonus.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just what they said.
So should I pull up my compensation?
No, I mean, that's fine. If you got $500, you got $500. If you want to, we'll look at it. But if you got $500, the only $750 would be for director, right? It wouldn't be $500.
Right.
$500. The only reason that makes sense. Well, what does it say on your compensation? Does it say what it's for?
I believe it did. Hold on. Now I got to try to get you back up here. How do I do that?
Online. I don't know. I'm glad you guys are interested in this information. I mean, it's interesting to me because I am baffled by the fact that they're giving this money away at this level because they are just handing it out.
Brent.
Sure.
Yeah, you and I had the conversation before that basically the directors are the ones that aren't I don't know, eligible for all the money though too. You know, they're the ones right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you see it?
Yep. So hit your view report. No, there you go. Okay. So you can see here that she cycled 10 times. She's paid $54 per cycle. So she got paid $541.10. So that makes sense. And then 1-star Golden Circle advancement bonus. Yeah, there you go. So you got paid half of the $500 for hitting 1-star. Holy
right.
shit. I don't know.
So then I got it again. You know, I hit.
Yeah, so you can get paid again next week.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I hit it I hit 10 again the very next week.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So anyway, pause right there, Vicky, since you're showing everybody your stuff anyway. That's all right. So
what do you want me to do?
You guys need to know that for those of you that stayed on here, you need to know this is how you see. So you don't click on anything over here, Vicky, but go over here and scan up and down where it says view reports.
Yep.
Right. That's where your information's at, guys. That's how you know how much you got paid and why you got paid it. What she just did. She clicked that and that gives you that information. So you just open up the month that you're interested in and it will give you that information. Okay. The other thing, since we're here and people are asking about it, don't click on it, Vicky. I don't want you to feel like you have to click on it. But up the top where it says my account, at the very top of the page, if she clicks on that, then that's also where you're going to be able to find your where you can change your 1099 so where they come electronically instead of waiting for them to get in the mail. Okay.
Oh, and you know what? I got mine yesterday.
Yeah, they came quick, right? I mean, I still on top of their shit, but for those of you that want it faster, you can get it that way. Like I got mine, you know, I mean, boom, it was there.
Okay.
So I got mine electronically just because I want to be able to, you know, have it.
Thanks for your help with that, Brent.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I wish I could give you more information, but quite honestly, Vicky, it looks like they're throwing you cash, girl. It's like
I know, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's better than throwing it at you at once.
Okay, so one other thing, why on your Isopulse does it not show you your up-to-date earnings for the year?
Isopulse, because that was only during the Billion and Beyond challenge. That's why it used to show that.
Oh, okay.
So you're back to your old method of calculation, which is you go over here. Now, one thing that some people you don't recognize, you may not have known, is that you can change this date, this start date and end date, because if you go down to January, so go ahead and scroll down. Don't change anything there, just scroll down. See how it says February? See where it says February? It gives you so click the button, the plus button beside February. So see, it only gives you 3 of the months in February. So if you want to see your full last year, then you have to change that start date. So if you want to add your money up, that's how you do it. Now scroll down a little bit further because some people may have never seen this. You can actually chart yourself, right? It charts you, which is kind of cool because you can see what's going on with your earnings, right? So you can see this is what you were earning per month, and then you had a fall, and then you came back up, and now you're rocking it, and now you're moving along, and so now you'll watch this continue to grow. What is really interesting is that you can see things like you went to did you go to Celebration?
No.
Okay, which was here, which would have been August.
You know what? I can tell you this was right after we moved.
Okay, so but seriously, you can follow that kind of stuff. But now go over to where NYKO was at. December 1st of January, 1st of January. Okay, so in about another 3 months from now, I guarantee you, for you guys that are on these calls and you're paying attention and you went to NYKO and you're planning on going to Celebration, you're going to watch that graph. And that graph is going to do crazy, incredible, great things.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how you tell your money, guys. I mean, April knows I beat her up all the time, and she's not on the call now, but I beat her up all the time, and I tell her, and I've told Jessica too, because I talk to them regularly, is that you guys know your money. Knowing the nutrition's fantastic. Knowing that it's good is all great. You need to know how to be able to talk to somebody about it. But if you're really considering, and you're sitting here on this phone call now for an hour and a half, so you're really considering this as a business, you have to know your numbers. If you do not know your numbers, how can you ever know how to get more? You need to know all about how these numbers work, how you're graphing yourself. Why did this fall happen? Think, reflect, how did that happen? And I know you already just said, but know these things, guys, because that's what's going to show you, and that's what's going to propel you to more money. And the reality is, I mean, we're on these calls for, an hour and a half and 2 hours to talk to each other because we're interested in the income opportunity that this company provides. It's not, it is about the nutrition. It is about helping people, but you can't help anybody if you're not earning income. Okay. So you need to be able to see this and share it with other people. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks guys for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and kill the. I should have stopped recording before.